A month after an unprecedented challenge was mounted to Russian President Vladimir Putin's authority by way of an armed mutiny, the world is wondering where Yevgeny Prigozhin, the man who led that mutiny, is and what kind of fate awaits him, given that he's now widely seen as Putin's enemy number one. Putin may wait to exact revenge, says US Central Intelligence Agency Director William Burns. Speaking to the Aspen Security Forum, the CIA chief has said, "What we are seeing is a very complicated dance, and Putin is trying to buy time while he works out how to deal with Prigozhin," adding that Putin may still seek retribution against the man who plotted and led the failed coup. Now, Yevgeny Prigozhin is the head of the Wagner mercenary group who led the mutiny against Putin last month. The CIA chief says that mutiny exposed significant weaknesses in the power structure that Putin has built. Prigozhin has moved around a fair bit in the weeks since the rebellion. He was seen in the Belarusian capital of Minsk recently and later spotted in Russia as well. This mercenary group still has value for Russia's leadership in places like Africa, Libya and Syria, and so it is likely that Putin will try and separate the group from its leader. William Burns said in this interview, "Putin is someone who generally thinks that revenge is a dish best served cold. In my experience, Putin is the ultimate apostle of payback. So I would be surprised if Prigozhin escapes further retribution." Earlier this month, US President Joe Biden suggested there was a possibility that the Wagner boss could be poisoned. He quipped, and I quote, "If I were Prigozhin, I'd be careful about what I ate. I'd keep my eye on my menu." The CIA director echoed that line, saying, "If I were Prigozhin, I would not fire my food taster." Interestingly, America's intelligence agency had advanced knowledge of the mutiny. That too has been confirmed by the CIA boss. Burns added that senior Russian army general Sergei Surovikin, who's reported to have known about the Wagner mutiny in advance, does not currently have freedom of movement in Russia. The mutiny was the most direct assault that Putin has seen in his 23 years in power. Prigozhin directly challenged the Kremlin's justification for the war in Ukraine, saying it had been built on lies. Now, the CIA chief goes on to say, "It's most remarkable that the Russian president felt compelled to strike a deal with a man who used to be his caterer." Prigozhin is often referred to as Putin's chef, as he first came to prominence after providing catering services to Putin and the military, before founding the Wagner Group. Putin has projected an image of himself as a strongman whose grip over Russia is vice-like and unquestionable. Therefore, the 36 hours of the mutiny have left many in the country with the question of whether the emperor had no clothes, or at least, why is it taking him so long to get dressed, said the CIA chief, adding that this event would have resurrected deeper questions in the Russian elite about Putin's judgment, which have been there since his decision to launch a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. If Ukraine makes further advances on the battlefield, then that could lead more Russians to pay attention to Prigozhin's critique of the war, according to Burns. Now, his comments echoed remarks that had earlier been made by Sir Richard Moore, the head of Britain's secret intelligence service MI6. Moore said Putin's government was beset by venality, infighting and callous incompetence, and the aftermath of Prigozhin's mutiny had been humiliating to Putin. The CIA chief also said there were signs that Russia might be considering a false flag operation by attacking shipping in the Black Sea and then blaming it on the Ukrainians. So, what do experts make of these claims that have been made by the CIA chief? Some very interesting statements there. Let's decode these with our panel of experts. Joining me on the show tonight, Ambassador J.K. Tripathi, former diplomat, Major General Sanjay Meston, defense expert, is also with us, and we're also hoping to be joined in a moment by Ambassador Manju Seth, also a former diplomat. Ambassador Tripathi, let me start with you. What do you make of a series of very intriguing statements that have been made by the CIA chief? He says he has confirmed what was suspected all along, that the CIA had prior information or intelligence about this mutiny that obviously caught Putin off guard. There are many who've already pointed out that this mutiny or failed mutiny, whatever you choose to call it, has not only been humiliating for Putin, it has actually exposed the chink in his armor, exposed some significant weaknesses in his power structure. And then, interestingly, William Burns goes on to say that what we are seeing is a very complicated dance. Putin is trying to buy time while he works out how to deal with Prigozhin. Putin will wait perhaps to exact revenge on Yevgeny Prigozhin. How do you see these remarks, Ambassador Tripathi?
See, Neha, firstly, thank you very much for adding me up in the show. Firstly, the very statement of CIA chief that CIA had prior knowledge. I'll go one step beyond that and say CIA not even has prior knowledge, but CIA also supported Yevgeny Prigozhin for this, just to divert the attention or increase the inconveniences, I'll say, increase the inconveniences. Okay. But CIA failed. In less than 36 hours, it has been quenched and normalcy had been returned. So, and then Richard Moore is giving a statement, William Burns is giving a statement, others are giving a statement. We must not see we must see take these statements with a pinch of salt, because they are not 100% correct, because they might be a part of information warfare or misinformation warfare, I will say. Why will CIA reveal this thing, that CIA had the prior knowledge of this? Why will CIA reveal this? Does CIA reveal everything that it has in its system? No. So we should take it with a word of caution. Secondly, as you said, that chinks are visible in the in Putin's armor. Yes, they might be, but this was not as big a problem as it has been uh, projected. It has been, I think, blown out of the proportion. Yevgeny Prigozhin is a very small fry in Putin's armor, in Putin's army. Right? He claimed that he has 25,000 persons under his command, and he had big business backing him. His business of restaurants or online floating restaurants, grocery business, this and that. But then he is not he is not a powerful threat to Putin, because Putin being at the helm of the affairs for the last 23 years, and Putin being a very, I mean, competent strategist, I don't think that it will have any big repercussion in Putin's popularity. Thirdly, and lastly, yes, Putin will be waiting for time, but Putin will, yes, remove Yevgeny um, very smoothly uh, without any clutter. He will be removed as and when Putin thinks it is. I'm not praising Putin, but the man has got a very brilliant mind, and for the last so many months, I will say, American media, Western media has been maligning his popularity, has been claiming that Putin had been given poison, Putin is bad, Putin's health is bad, Putin is not good, Putin is weak, Putin has left Russia, all sort of propaganda war was going on. But we can see Putin is still there, and Prigozhin had just 2 days back he has addressed his people, supposedly 600 members of the Wagner group in the southern southern Belarusian place called Sel, and where he said that we must not go in for war again. We will focus out. We will shift our focus to Africa. And in Africa, in Central African nation, the Central African uh, nation, he had got a big stake. So hopefully they will be, and yet his fighters have fought in Libya, etc., etc. So hopefully he will either he will be removed from the scene by moving physically or relocating in Africa and operating from there, or very peacefully somewhere in Siberian archipelago. So that is what I think they are.